1946. Queens, New York. On an Easter Sunday, a son is born to Fred and Mary Ann Trump. Donald John Trump. Documents are filed. A birth certificate is issued. But in the hospital's archive, a nurse's marginal note remains. Quote, "The mother screamed it wasn't her child. She said they switched him in the first hour. She was sedated. The baby? Healthy. A week later, she takes him home and never speaks of it again. No one remembers. No one checks. Years pass. The boy grows. Smart, ambitious, charismatic, but strangely precise. He speaks of things he couldn't possibly know. At age 7, he draws a building resembling Trump Tower, 30 years before its construction. At 12, he speaks a sentence in Japanese. He never studied the language. When asked, he replies, "I heard it in a dream." By age 30, he's a billionaire. His name is on every skyscraper, but he has no reflection in mirrors under certain light. Photos of him are always 1 millisecond behind everyone else in the frame. His voice, recorded on tape, sometimes continues after he has stopped speaking. 1985. Journalist Emily Ronson begins an investigation. She wants to understand, how does Trump survive in business enduring collapse after collapse? Every time his empire crumbles, he rises stronger. Banks eagerly give him loans. Partners forgive fraud. Media avoids scandals. She digs deeper, finds a strange detail. All official photos of Donald Trump before 1970 are fake. Not retouched, but complete fabrications. The same man appears in each, but the facial features shift, as if it's not really him. She tracks down Trump's former nanny. Now in a retirement home, the old woman whispers, "He's not the boy I used to care for. I saw him in 1955. Completely different. Quieter. Scary. Then he changed. I told Fred. He said, 'Never say this again, or you'll disappear.' 3 days later, the nanny dies. Official cause, heart attack. But in her room, they find a single sheet of paper. On it, one word. Replacement. 1991. Emily finds the final proof. In a sealed insurance company archive, a policy from 1946. Life insurance for a newborn. The sum, $1 million, an impossible amount at the time. The policyholder, not the parents, but an unknown corporation named Project DD. In the notes, subject activated, point of return 1980, full integration 1990, prevent identity exposure, threat level reset. She calls Trump, requests a meeting. He agrees. Evening. Office on the top floor of Trump Tower. She arrives. He sits with his back to the window. The light behind him is sharp. His face is in shadow. She says, "You're not Donald Trump. You're someone else. You were replaced, and you know it." Silence. Then he turns, looks at her, and for the first time, he smiles differently. Not smugly, not businesslike, but in a foreign way. "You're right," he says. "I'm not him. I came to fulfill a task, restore the name, build the empire, make sure no one remembers there was another. The first one. He was weak. He doubted. I don't." "Who sent you?" she asks. "Those who build the future. And the future tolerates no mistakes. I am the corrected version. Improved. Perfect." "And the real Trump?" He stands. Walks to the window, looks down. "He died in 1952, from pneumonia. I came the next day, and no one noticed the difference, because people see what they want to see. A name, a surname, money. That's all they need." She pulls out a tape recorder. He looks at it. "Do you think this matters?" She presses play. Trump's voice fills the room. "I'm not him. I came the next day." He laughs. Not loudly, as if he already knows he's lost. "Record it. Publish it. Tell the world. No one will believe you, because I am more real than he ever was. I am a legend built on sand." And the sand turned to stone. An hour later, she vanishes. Her car is found by the river. The recorder, shattered. But in the newsroom, a draft of her article remains. The next day, the article is deleted. The editor says she came in herself and asked to remove it, said she was mistaken. But no one saw her leave the building. From 1992 onward, Trump becomes a cult. Not a politician, not a businessman, but a phenomenon. His appearances treated as events. His words quoted even if they never spoken. People begin seeing him in places he never visited. They say he appears in offices where decisions about him are made, stands in the corner, silent, then vanishes. 2025. In the archives, they find the final video, filmed in 2018. Trump alone in a room, speaking to the camera. "Sometimes I remember, not his life, but my first night, cold, the smell of antiseptic, voices, activation complete, subject DD inserted into the stream. I didn't know who I was, only that I had to become him. I learned, I copied, I surpassed, and now I can't stop. Because if I tell the truth, I will cease to exist, and the world isn't ready for the emptiness I'd leave behind." Pause. Sometimes I look in the mirror and ask, "Who are you?" And it stays silent, because it doesn't know either. Today, every time someone says Trump isn't real, at that very moment, somewhere in the world, a light flickers on in an empty office. On the table, a fresh cup of coffee, and one phrase written on a napkin: "I am greater than he was. I am better than he was. I am the only one who remained."